How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. And we have a little bit of IPA action in today's little massive beer review in the form of Great Notion Brewing's Squeeze. Yeah. Decided to give this a whirl. This beer comes from north of Boston, south of Portland, Maine. I just came back from a trip. Actually went up that way. Went to a bunch of breweries. My first actual real, who gives a shit, I'm going to go everywhere I possibly can beer trip. Went for a 4-day thing. I did a recap of it. You can watch that. But yeah, this was actually the surprise of the trip. I was going up that way, and I met I posted on social media I was going up that way and told people, if you want to meet up and have a beer, let's do it. And, a couple of people took me up on an offer, but there's a couple of people that actually wrote me and just said, man, you should try out a couple of different places, and one of those places was Great Rythmn. And I was like, oh, man, I was going, my itinerary was basically I was going to Portland, or Boston one day. Next day I was going to Portland. Next day I was coming back to Boston. Next day I was going home. And I was like, you know what, this kind of works out. They open relatively early. It's on the way. Let's do it. And I went by there. Absolutely fantastic place. Had this beer and everything they had on draft. So yeah, super excited to give it a whirl because it's fucking delicious. And there you go. You can shut the review off now because I already said it's delicious. Anyway, let's dive into it. As far as what it says on the can itself, it says Great Rythmn Brewing Company Squeeze, 16 fluid ounces, 5.7% alcohol by volume. Let's see. Here's drink great beer. Government warning stuff on the side here. On the side, we have brewed and canned by Great Rythmn Brewing Company in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. So yeah, logo-wise, it's cool. I like it. It's very. The logo reminds me of a local brewery called Soul. I've done a couple of their reviews, but the thing is, it's a fucking hop. Everybody does, Night Shift does hops, everybody does hops, so even though that reminds me of their logo a little bit, it's a fucking hop. It's not like, everybody uses it, so. Anyway, give this sucker a whirl. Not even sure if you're going to be able to see this thing pouring in this glass. This glass is so goddamn tall. But one glass is the glass I bought, only glass I bought on my whole trip. Just because I like the shape of it. And here we go. Let's see. Barely make out the can on there. Screwing up my whole shit here, glass. Damn it! Anyway, 2 fingers. Just over 2 fingers. Gigantic head on this sucker, but that's my fault for pouring it into such a tall glass like this. Nice creamy top to it. Creepily uniform bubbles from bottom to top. It's like uber small, medium small, and just kind of tapers up pretty beautifully. And it's got a very subtle haze to it. And I've said ad nauseum with a lot of beer reviews that I've done is that, a haze does not a good beer make. And while there are a lot of hazy beers that really do it for me, it's the truth, man. Just because a beer is hazy doesn't make it good. And one of the things that struck me about this brewery is that while some of the stuff is relatively hazy, it's not over-the-top turbid stuff, but yet it retained a lot of those kind of flavors going on. So yeah, she looks pretty damn nice. Let's put it that way. So, see if we can get a nose on her. Now, this is OJ, okay, for me. This is OJ to the max. This is the old school OJ, like to concentrate OJ, not fresh pulpy OJ. And I'm saying that in a very positive sense. It's a sweeter kind of OJ, but it doesn't err on the side of tanginess. It's definitely straight up old school orange juice, slight bittering to it, but it's got a really nice sweetness to it, and it just reminds me of that. It sounds disgusting to some of you probably, but when I was a kid, my mom would make the to concentrate orange juice, and she would let us kind of lick the can, or take a little spoon and kind of get the little kind of crusty kind of freezer burny edges off that were full of these orange flavors. If you remember that, you'll know that's a delicious thing. It's not something that's overly disgusting. That's what this reminds me of in the nose. But there's enough bitter in there to kind of balance it off. So it smells like a really nice, I don't want to say old school meet new school. It's definitely more new school. But since that old school kind of orange juicy thing is there, it kind of reminds me of that. But it smells like a vibrant, orange juicy IPA. Yeah, let's dive in. See what she's got. Cheers. Okay. It's just delicious is what it is. There's like a nutty or crackery with a slightly nutty kind of maltiness to it. There's a nice sweetness to it. There's a nice bittering, balancing that sweetness kind of perfectly. The mouth feels nice. It's not going to be one of those over-the-top dumps out of your glasses instead of pouring it kind of turbid IPAs. But what it brings with it is a nice, creamy, silky smoothness rather than this fun, gritty, kind of over-the-top, kind of yeasty, flowery kind of thing that happens so much nowadays. Yeah. Ooh. That bitterness just bounces off that sweetness so well. So yeah, it's all about the oranges in here. You're definitely getting orange. You're getting a little bit of grapefruit. You're getting a little bit of nectarininess, but it's mostly orange. With that nice kind of slightly pithy kind of bitterness bouncing off of it. Really nice, silky, smooth mouthfeel and chuggable to the max. Like I said, it's, what is it, 5 and change? 5.7% alcohol by volume. It's one of those beers that I'm angry that I only bought, 2 or 3 4-packs of it because it's just that fucking good. Delicious all around. The brewery itself impressed the shit out of me. I think I brought back 4 different beers from them, maybe 5, and I'm going to review the shit out of all of them because this is definitely a brewery that deserves a little pub, even though they didn't let me in early. I got there, I traveled too fast, got to the brewery about 20 minutes early, the door was open, I was like, awesome, I walked in, I'm like, you open? And they're like, not for 20 minutes. I was like, fuck, I had to walk out. So that's just me being just a jerk. Kind of, the only negative was they didn't let me drink 20 minutes early. Fuckers. Anyway, yeah, absolutely great brewery, great Rythmn from Portsmouth, New Hampshire. If you're in that area, definitely worth checking out. And if you're doing the thing that I did, like I said, I kind of did the rounds. I just did the rounds that I have never done that I've always wanted to do. If you're ever making those rounds and you're doing that trip from Boston to Portland and you think there's nothing along the way, there's a couple good breweries, and this is definitely one of them, and it's definitely worth it. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. If you didn't, anywhere in between. Oh, I skipped the whole part. Let's rewind. Let's talk about it. It's one of the better base IPAs I've had as of late. Absolutely, yes. Just from drinkability, I could drink so much of this. That's the thing with it. Not only does it taste good, it has longevity, and that I'd want to drink. I'd be okay drinking a 6-pack of this, no problem, over a night. Value and availability, I think of $14 to $15 a 4-pack. It's market value now. Availability, the brewery had a decent amount of it, and what does it remind me of? I already told you. Like an orange juice can, or a really good new school, old school IPA. Let's put it that way. So there you go. Now the review's over. Comment down there if you have any questions and whatnot. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram on tap. Massive Beers in all 4 of those places if you want to check me out anywhere else. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying some beautiful, great Rythmn right now. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.